Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of Olympus Rises. I'm glad you all could be here today. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful day, in the neighborhood, if you will. For those of you watching live, I had a technician just come out and take a look at all my stuff, and everything was fine, of course. So that means I probably still have a problem, but right now it's not showing its ugly, rearing internet problem head. So we're just going to deal with it, as it were. But for those of you watching this not live, welcome. Glad you could be here. This is episode number 10 of Olympus Rises, Season 2. We finally made it into double digits after all of our cancellations and miscommunications and holidays and blah, 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 blah. But that's okay, because we're going to go ahead and push forward today with episode number 10, and it's going to be a good one, I think. I think it's going to be a good one. We have some stuff going down that is going to be vitally important to the cause. So, looks like we're only missing Devin, but I know he is on his way. Great. So why don't we say hello to everyone, all of the beautiful people that are... Hello?
Hello, hi.
Hi, Megan. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm...
How's your internet?
Well, he didn't do anything, so...
So still bad, still not great.
Well, it's fine right now, but after 4 hours, we'll see how many frames I drop. On Thursday, I dropped 20% of my frames, so...
Ooh.
Hopefully it is a fluke. I think it's fine now, but there is a maintenance appointment on Tuesday for them to come out and take a look at the actual lines, so that's good. I'll get
Progress.
I'll get to the technician when it's my turn to say things. But since you spoke first, Megan, why don't you tell us about how your week went?
My week was good. It involved my birthday, so that was fun.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Thank you. Now I have said it in person as opposed to just typing it out.
Sure. So that was nice. What else? I had a half day on my birthday, so that was lovely. I had some delicious dinner, which was also lovely.
What did you have for dinner?
We went to a very amazing Italian restaurant and got some good stuff. And then I also get a long weekend for my birthday too, because I have tomorrow off. So that's good. Good times. What else happened? Oh, I went to see The Shape of Water last night. Was that last night? Yesterday? Yes, yesterday. Super good movie. Highly recommend it to anybody if you have a chance to see it. It's Guillermo del Toro, the guy who did Pan's Labyrinth. So you can imagine, kind of weird. It's got some weird things in it. But holy cow, is it beautifully written and well done. So yeah, super good movie. And I think that's about it. Have played 0 games. 0 games have been played this week, which is not great, but whatever.
I know the feels.
And yeah, and excited to play today because we didn't get to play on Friday. So yeah.
Yes, fortunately.
Because somebody had to go to India.
Well, basically.
No, yeah, that's basically what happened. This upcoming Friday will be interesting for 2 reasons. One, it will probably be like I'm trying to make it the last game of season 2 of Siege, but Jackson will also be in India.
What is the time difference?
He is 13 hours ahead, so it will be Saturday at like 4 a.m.
Jesus Christ.
or something like that.
It'll be
So I'm sure he'll be fine. It's Jackson we're talking about. So that'll be fun. Cool. Will, hello.
Hello.
I'm glad you're here. First of all,
Will definitely doesn't sound like he just woke up 40 seconds ago.
Of course not. No.
he was the first in Discord again. Actually,
Keep me here, so there you go.
It's probably
sorry,
because
I woke 15 minutes ago.
it's probably because I put the fear of God in him when he stopped showing up to my games for like 4 weeks in a row.
Mm.
True.
Like I can see you right now, like in my mind's eye, in bed with your face in your pillow, talking into the microphone.
That seems pretty accurate.
Yeah. I mean, you never said what state you wanted me to join in with.
No, I
Just
think
that
this
had to be
state
it.
is perfect.
It's true. There are
It's-
never any parameters based on how we show up. It's just that we show up.
I don't care if you're not wearing pants. I can't see you, so it's fine.
That's not new, Jordan. Just FYI.
Old news.
Don't worry. I play without pants like 50% of the time, so it's fine.
There we go.
You know, this might be appropriate since like Fisher is, literally coming back from the dead anyway.
Yeah.
Will's current state.
I love how it has accidentally become a theme that every time Will joins after like taking a week off or whatever, he's just dead. And it doesn't matter which game.
Yeah,
It doesn't
I'm
matter.
Just always dead. Just
Always dead.
Always.
You don't sound bitter at all, Will.
No, of course not. But yeah, no, good. Glad to be here. And I'm still not dead. So that's the thing.
Good. What have you done this week? Recovered from your vacation extravaganza, basically?
Yeah, because that was basically my Christmas of, oh god, I have to spend an entire week with all family that I haven't seen for years and don't particularly want to see in years, but have to because I'm there for an entire week, and if I piss them off, then it's just going to be even worse of a time. So just smile and wave, boys. Just smile and wave.
It's good. Don't worry. We're gonna talk British here in a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Matt, hello.
Yep.
How have you been, sir?
Oh man. Same old, same old.
Yeah. The clock keeps ticking, essentially.
Yeah, it just keeps on ticking away. But it's cool. Had a meeting with a patent attorney on Friday, and that's actually chugging ahead, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Whether or not it eventually goes anyplace is an entirely different matter, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And
Absolutely.
just got all the other deadlines and such coming at me a minute at a time. And it's cool though.
Good.
We're getting there.
Getting
I
there.
pretty much have not done anything of note other than work. So
Good.
we can just gloss right over me.
Fantastic. I have a lot to talk about, which is great because it'll delay. Because I assume Devin is coming. He was active today, so
Yeah.
So I also have played no video games besides Hearthstone because I'm keeping up with my dailies because I'm a good little Blizzard fanboy. But I like tried to boot up a game and I was like, I don't really want to play video games. So instead, I have been binging every show in existence. And or I should say catching up on the shows that I should have watched a long time ago. Which is how I prefer to do things because I prefer to have like a pretty clear beginning to end. Like I like to have a lot of content to go over as opposed to watching them weekly or whatever. But where I need your help, Will, is I binged over the course of the last week all 4 seasons of the Peaky Blinders. And for those of you that don't know, which shouldn't be that many people.
That's only like 8 episodes, though, right?
Yeah, but it's 4 seasons, and they're Netflix shows, so they're like actually an hour long.
I know. I'm just.
Yeah.
In fact, I almost found it hard that there was. It's crazy how much like 10 extra minutes of content, how much like information you can fit into 10 extra minutes of content per episode.
Yeah, it's amazing how if you don't have a advert break
every 30 minutes.
It's so insane. But man, everybody knows the American Gangster story. You know, Tommy Guns and fucking, you know, Al Capone and all that shit. But I have to say, if I had to choose, I would be a British gangster. Because they're way more awesome than American gangsters ever were. I'm just throwing that out there.
100%.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. I have formulated a new goal for myself, which is basically just to embody Thomas Shelby in all aspects of my life. I just want to become him. No. I literally just want to become him because he is one of the greatest.
That's
characters.
Will's implicit support noise. You're misreading his assessment.
Yeah, no, this is great. I'm just very glad that there's an entire ocean between us at this moment.
For any of us that have watched Peaky Blinders, we know that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, I just want to be him forever. He's my favorite. I just need to have blue eyes, shave the sides of my head, and become a crime boss. Basically everything else I've got down, except for those parts.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah. But man, that show is fantastic, beginning to end. They've set it up for a new season, which I'm great. I would love for a new season to come out at some point. I don't know if they're making it. I haven't done any research on that, but if it comes out, I'll be watching it as soon as it comes out. It's just really, really good.
Thank you, by the way, for keeping this spoiler free, because I don't watch a lot of TV, and this is definitely high on the list.
Oh, it should be. Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely should be high on the list. Man, am I team May though all the way? Like, I was so sad during some parts, and there's no spoilers, but she's one of the female leads that appears in the 2nd season, I think. Yeah, 2nd season is when she shows up, and she has this kind of fling with Tommy Shelby, and man, I wish one of the greatest lines in like the whole series is one of hers, and she says, "You've told me like a gentleman. Now I wish you could go back to being a gangster." And I'm just like, yes, it's amazing.
She's also freaking adorable. Let's just put that out
yeah,
there.
no, 100%. So I need to find myself a rich widowed horsewife. That's one thing I need to do. So if you know any, let me know.
I think that's safely the first time I've ever heard that string of words in that particular order.
When you watch the show, you will understand. No, I'm so #Team May and very sad when it doesn't work out for her, which again is not really a spoiler because
it doesn't really work out for anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Usually in any gangster show, nobody wins.
No,
nobody wins scenario.
There are no winners in that show, but man, is it good! Wow. Also, I just want to be able to drink whiskey like they do. Like, I understand that it's water that they actually drink. Also, I'd be really interested to talk with that actor and ask him how many cigarettes he smoked during the filming of those shows. Because, dear God, if there is a scene without him with a cigarette in his mouth, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I can actually tell you about this because
please tell me somebody has asked him this question.
Well, I know because I was an extra in 1940s film.
Okay.
So I actually
Hold
I
on.
thought you were just going to say, like, I was actually on Peaky Blinders, so
Yeah,
like,
hold the
let me
fucking
actually
quiet.
tell you. What? They let the prince act? Question mark? I'm confused.
well, it was called A Royal Night Out.
Oh
So-
God, please, Matt, find it immediately.
Right now.
A Royal Night Out. Holy
I'm already on
shit.
IMDb.
Yeah.
Please. Hey, it got a 6.5 out of 10. That's not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
Wow.
So yeah, obviously it was
So in.
1940s, and everyone was still smoking. So they're not proper cigarettes; they're fake cigarettes,
Right, I figured.
but still burn.
Well, but he inhales. Like, that has to do something to you.
Yeah, but it's not
Yes and
really,
no.
like-
There's like no
It's mostly,
tar.
like,
There's
water
it's
vapor,
just it's just
Man.
kind of herbs and water vapor.
I'll tell you what, though. And his mannerisms, as they evolve throughout the show, are just so fantastic. Like, you'll notice, by, like, the 4th season, he starts, like, inadvertently coughing occasionally. And, like, you don't really notice it, except for if you're like me and you're thinking about, God damn, he smokes a lot of cigarettes. And then he, like, you can tell he's probably smoking or pretending to smoke menthol, because then he'll start to, like, rub them on his lips before he lights them, which is, like, a common, if you smoke menthol, that's a thing that you do, so you coat your lips for it. But, oh man, his mannerisms are so perfect. It's the little things in life that I enjoy. And, man, that show is fantastic.
Yes.
Will, I just looked through the whole list of the cast and crew, man. I don't.
He said he was
I
an
don't
extra,
see-
to be
I
fair.
know, I'm kidding.
The
Alright.
the art of
So,
frames where I'm actually full in, like almost in front of the camera.
so,
Which is pretty cool.
Like
I-
almost a second in front of the
I
camera.
regret to inform
Yeah.
everybody there'll be no Stars Without Number tonight. We're actually just gonna have
Can
a
we
screening
just watch
um,
the movie and look for Will, please?
of A Royal Night. We're all gonna count down and click play at the same time, and then Will's gonna
mean-
walk us through how it worked.
I mean, Matt has already been a creep and found my.
Again,
Mhm.
you assume that
Facebook
that's
profile
only
picture.
Matt. You assume that that's only Matt. I don't know why you assume that. After everything you know
he
about
was
me.
the one that initially found it, and it is now spread through. the
Also,
ranks
also
like
incorrect.
wildfire.
Also incorrect.
Who's the one that found it then?
I just
Who's
respect-
The,
I
who's
just
the
res-
original creep.
I just
Who's the
respect your
original-
privacy more than Matt does. That's all it is. You're welcome for that, by the way. Anyway, yeah, no, Peaky Blinders. God, if you haven't watched it, what are you doing with your life? Go watch it immediately.
You will need at least the first episode to 3 episodes to get used to the accents, but then you're fine.
No, there was, there was only one time. It was in the first season. One of the Irish guys. Holy shit!
Yeah, I was gonna say the Irish guys are actually more. Yeah.
He was unintelligible. Like, literally,
Yeah.
you could not understand what he was saying. And I don't know how anybody did. And it's the only line, or the only, like, character in the whole show that I missed out completely.
Devin, I got echo from you again.
Well, this is retarded because I'm on push to talk. So how is it echoing?
It's only when you're pushing to talk.
Oh, good.
Pushing to talk.
But also, I love, shit, I can't remember his name, but the Wandering Jew. Holy God.
Yes.
The way that he talks and the way that he interacts is so beautiful. Like, it's so beautifully done. Props to that guy. Just round of applause, because, man, that's perfect. I feel like 4th season, the Italians were a little overdone. I think it was clear that some of them weren't actually Italian, like, didn't actually have the accent naturally. But yeah, no, oh man, so good. Go watch it. That's all I have to say. But also then, so I finished that and I was real sad. But I am catching up on another show that I know, and I'm sorry to everyone out there. I should have watched this because I just talk leaps and bounds about its predecessor. But I've started working my way through Legend of Korra. which I know is not as good. In fact, I can tell you it's not as good as Avatar. I'm already on the 3rd season, so I'm almost there.
Yeah, it's
super
only
short.
an 8 instead of a 10, so
Yeah.
it's still.
Oh, I didn't know you were such an Avatar fanboy, Will. I was unaware
Oh
of this.
God, yes,
Dude.
it's
The first 4 books of Avatar: The Last Airbender, or the 4 books of Avatar: The Last Airbender, are some of the only TV show movies in hard copy that I own. Like that, Lord of the Rings, and like a couple of dumb movies like Catch Me If You Can, stuff like that. Like those are the only movies that I actually own.
I also love that film.
Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
definitely.
But anyway,
Yes.
yeah,
And
Legend
I'm
of Korra
just
is good.
Vibing off you so hard right now. It's
Gross.
amazing.
Gross. So one of the things I don't like about Korra is that holy shit does it move fast. Like in Avatar we were on a journey and like we were invested in the journey, but in Korra in like the first 10 episodes she gets Avatar state.
Whoa, spoilers.
Yeah, okay. She gets Avatar state and I'm like, "What? Like, huh? Why is this going so like why is this already going so fast?" But I do like a lot of the themes that the show brings up. I do like the more involvement with the spirits. I kind of like that. I like the idea that there's this cycle that has now been broken and has to start over again. That's pretty cool. I always like things like that. So it's good, but I will say, man, they targeted a very specific audience with this show. Like preteen to early teenagers is the target hard. because of 2 reasons. One, because of the way that they act just in general, like the way that they disregard authority a lot and the way that they like are kind of responsible but not. But the relationship stuff in that show is like fucking in your face, like all the time. Every episode it comes up. And a lot of times it's real weird because nobody normal is just okay with the kind of shit that happens to them, right? Like like what the hell? Nobody stays friends after that kind of shit. Like they go to some really like bad places with each other, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, but we're cool, right? Because we're friends, and the other person's like, yeah, no problem, we're friends.
Well, yeah, because in all preteen everything, friendship saves everything, right?
Oh my
Yay for
God.
friendship.
Like the whole Asami, Korra, Mako, or Mako, because I say it both ways, by the way. Like love triangle square with Bolin thrown in there sometimes. Like I even thought for a moment that Asami and Bolin were getting together, and I was like, what am I watching right now? What is this? It's like a fucking soap opera sometimes. It's not that it's
watched anime?
It's not that it's
all soap opera.
Well, yeah, of course. It's not that it's bad. It's just that it's a little unrealistic sometimes.
Yeah, it feels a little.
Yeah,
close.
and like I'm
talking
already
about people that control elements.
Well, you know what? Yes.
Voice of reason.
And like I'm already spoiled on like the end of Korra because it's been out for so long, and I'm such an Avatar fanboy anyway that like I've been spoiled on the end, and so like I keep looking to how it makes it to there. Like after seeing all this other stuff happen, and I'm like, that's really how it ends? Like, what? It doesn't make any sense. But I guess young, dumb, and full of love, right?
Yeah, what didn't help wasn't the writer's strike.
But Jordan, that doesn't rhyme.
You know, Matt, I was trying to be PG-13, so just like The Legend of Korra, which is a wholesome show. Now, Peaky Blinders, on the other hand, that is not wholesome at all. Do not have children in a 10-mile vicinity when you watch that show if you can help it.
What? Don't even let them listen to it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I've been watching a lot of Legend of Korra, and I'm almost done with that, and I like it. I don't love it like I do the Avatar, but I'm invested enough that I'm gonna finish it. And then I have no idea, but I'll find something, I'm sure.
Rurouni Kenshin is on Netflix.
No idea what that is.
So is Will, apparently.
You don't know what Rurouni Kenshin is?
No, I don't.
It's like an anime from like the late 80s, early 90s about a samurai.
Cool. I'm into samurai
it's
anime.
Awesome. It's awesome. Watch it.
I will write it down. The only other thing of note that has come up is because I watched a lot of Korra. I was interested to see what type of bender I would be. Now I'm gonna ask all of you here, sans Megan, because she already knows. What type of bender do you think I would be based on my personality? Devin.
Earth.
Okay. Will.
God, it feels as if you've got a gun pointed to my head.
Usually, most of the time, yes.
I mean, we are from America. That's what we do.
I am Thomas Shelby, so yeah, Devin.
He doesn't hold the gun so much.
Devin, you missed that. My only goal in life is to become Thomas Shelby, just in case you were curious.
I don't want you to get cancer that bad.
I mean,
That's a good point.
Mine is the smoking. Okay.
and the drinking and the possible STDs, but yes.
Oh no, I'm fine with drinking, but yeah, STDs not so much until the last season.
Yeah.
Or
Gotcha.
latest season. So
Gotcha.
as long as you're Thomas Shelby before season 4, you're fine.
Got it. Tracking. Will, what type of bender do you think I am?
Fire.
Okay. Matt?
Dude, I don't know what's going on.
You disappoint me on a lot of levels, Matt. So I also thought I would be Earth. I also assumed, but the online quizzes, which are never wrong, classified me as air. Believe it or not.
I was gonna say Earth or air, definitely.
And the text following that was pretty accurate. But yeah, no, like if I could choose, I would want to be an earthbender because that's obviously the most badass. Anyway, there you go. There's a little bit of airbender stuff for you. Anyway, I think that's about it for me. Devin, hello.
Hello.
Tell us all about your week and what's been going on with it.
Most of my week has been spent with my nieces and nephew. And by most, I mean 5 of the last 7 days.
A lot of days.
So I'm about done with toddlers for right now. Other than
Good.
that, it's been a week. Oh, I've been invited back to take the civil service exam with Orlando Police Department, and I'm also going to take my physical fitness ability test for Orange County Sheriff's Office.
So when you say it like that, they contacted you?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, they sent me an email saying, "Hey, we have a civil service exam coming up, and we would like you to participate."
Interesting. They must be desperate.
Maybe.
I'm not saying that like you're bad. No. Like not like that, but like typically when we talk about
It's come to this, has it?
typically when we talk about things like this, like once they're done with you, they're done with you. Like they don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Yeah, but
cool. Good for you, man.
So that's what's going on with me. Is the beginning of February will be all about running and taking tests.
Cool. Awesome. Oh, some interesting news from my work. In that
everyone got a $1,000 bonus.
Yes, they did. Who else do you know that works at Universal?
A couple people.
Okay. Yeah. So Comcast, and we all know how much everyone in the world hates Comcast, but Comcast has decided that every single one of their frontline employees, including all their subsidiaries like NBC Universal, all the line guys, or Universal Hollywood, all of the frontline team members are getting $1,000 bonus this year, just for free.
Yeah.
It's because they got a pretty good tax break in the new bill. So
right. So hey, I'm not complaining about that at all.
And they're redefining what qualifies as broadband.
Yes, correct.
Holy crap.
Luckily, I don't have Comcast. So, although, that may or may not be a good thing.
Hey, so I hate to interrupt, but Will, if you could just tell me at what point because this whole fucking movie is just like dancing and quickly moving people, and I can't. There's like a lot of stuff going on.
So at the end,
okay, we're narrowing.
there's a big hall where everyone's dancing, and that's where she's discovered for being the queen, and it's in that hall.
Fucking spoilers!
Spoilers!
Jesus!
So that's like
happened,
the
like,
7th or 8th dancing
God,
scene. Then.
Wow. So anyway, so that's fun at work. Also, I haven't told all of you guys, but I told the Star Wars group, but I did apply for a promotion at work, which I know they want to fill quickly. And while every single other person that I've talked to about it is like, oh yeah, I mean, that's your position. Like, they're obviously going to hire you. Like, they've been grooming you for it this whole time. I still, am not getting my hopes up. It would obviously be nice, be even more money, but also salary, which would be... Generally, I don't like salary, but in this sense, I think it would actually be a really good thing. Because it would give me a little more freedom to do what I wanted to do. Even if it consisted of a few more than 40 hours a week. So I don't know when the interviews are that. I assume this week. They said they wanted to fill them very quickly. They have a lot of work to do. So, also, Hawaiian Missile Crisis. Can we talk about that for a second? I know we don't like to get political, but man.
Holy crap, that was amazing.
Man.
Is that even political, or is that just gross incompetence?
God, I don't know.
Good point. Because it really has nothing to do with...
So, I have insider information on how this sort of stuff works.
So hold on before we get there. I've spent the last 5 out of the 7 days with toddlers. News wasn't something I was involved with.
Oh, you don't even know that this happened. Okay. So yesterday at like noon or something like that, in the Hawaiian Emergency Management Station or whatever the fuck they call it, somebody put out a broadband alert to all devices that there was an imminent ballistic missile threat. And you had approximately 15... Yes, seek cover. This is not a drill. You have approximately 15 minutes until impact. And it went to the same way that we get the Amber Alerts, the same way that you like see the emergency messages on the television, all of that. It went out to everybody in Hawaii. They didn't officially send out a stand down warning until 38 minutes later. So for 38 minutes...
People were losing their shit.
Hawaii thought they were all dead. Like, all of them thought they were dead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So...
Not sure from who. I mean, they just knew that something was coming. Question mark.
So, they have today, and I don't know if this is insider or somebody read this somewhere and passed it along to me, but I found this out at work today. So, in order to launch our missiles at anybody... There are obviously 2 entry points, and they are far enough away from each other that one person could not do it at the same time. However, this was not true for the emergency broadcast system. So, they are literally revamping the entire setup so that one single person cannot send an emergency broadcast anymore in Hawaii.
Interesting.
So that was fun. It wasn't fun. That was a joke.
Has more come out as to like what? I mean, I'm sure it's like super hush under. lock
Yeah,
whatever,
not that I
but,
know
like,
of. I haven't like
I haven't
researched
looked it
it.
up today, at all.
But man, that was interesting. But yeah. Also, Megan linked that other quiz, which is, by the way, if you take that 105 question quiz, that is the negative traits in which you express.
yeah, this is all like the stuff.
It even
that
has like a
crazy.
it has like a disclaimer. It says, "Listen, you will not like the results of this. Do you understand?"
See,
please
that's
don't take this if you're emotionally unstable.
See, that's the thing where I clicked the checkbox and said, "Okay." I don't read that.
Yeah, correct.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if you take it when you're not literally asleep, it's fairly accurate. The first time I took it, I got almost 100% on everything, and I realized that I was really probably about to die. And then the second time I took it, I got a result.
What test
that
is this?
It's in
The personality
check.
style test.
Yeah. But I learned a new word and realized that basically where all of my problems are, and that's great. So now I know. It's good. It's good stuff. So.
Oh my god, Matt.
Oh my god, there he is!
Look at his cheeks.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, look at him!
That's awesome.
Will. That's so adorable.
Oh my god.
So, if you have more time on your hands there, Matt, I was an extra in an episode of One Tree Hill.
Shut up! No, you weren't. Stop it.
Yes, I was.
Oh my god, I am so jealous of you. Holy crap! I loved that show growing up. That was like my life growing up.
Okay, then
You and
there-
literally every other teenage girl.
Every other teenage girl my age. Yeah, it's fine. I know.
So guys, are we gonna play some Stars Without Number, or?
I don't want to kill you guys
It's
just yet.
5:30.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, but Devin, you totally need to tell me what episode and stuff.
I don't remember the name of the episode. All I can tell you is there's an episode where they go to a Marine Corps base,
Oh, okay.
and that should narrow it down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that probably only happened once.
That's like an episode, I think. So I think I could figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah, and I run by the screen once.
Beautiful.
Sweet.
I've been told that it happens really fast, and it's toward the end of the episode.
Oh, is that hi, Emmy?
She says hello.
Aw.
Okay, good. So yes, speaking of running by the screen really fast, and trying, not to die. You want to play some Stars Without Number, everyone?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Cool.
As much now that I'm done with Netflix and.
Yeah, now that you've accomplished your mission of finding Will.
Yep.
Which, by the way, that's just incredible. That is amazing. You're fully in that shot, Will. Like,
Yeah, no,
It's
totally.
like-
It's amazing.
you're like almost a support character at this point.
I know, which is yeah.
Anyway, I've never been an extra on any show unless you count this one that we're currently playing.
But you're all the extras.
Exactly.
all of them.
I play all of the extras.
You're the literal known universe outside of our four characters.
True.
When I took that personality test, it did explain to me why I perhaps might be so good at these things, and it's because I am prone to changing who I am to adapt to different types of interactions. So that is probably why I am good at this sort of thing, because it is literally built into my personality to change at a moment's notice based on who I'm interacting with and what. There you go. Be like me, kids. Don't do a lot of drugs and stay in school at least through high school and try to find some mediocre job that'll allow you to pay the bills so you can play role-playing games. There you go.
Formula to be a good DM, kids.
Yes, there you go. We're a very wholesome show too, just like the Avatar.
Hey, let's do goals.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Matt's impatient, so let's do goals.
No, this is the first time in like
A while.
We've accomplished the goal. Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
see. What's the longest running one that I've had?
So
I have a 12, 15, and 10 session goal.
yeah, the unfortunate thing is it actually hasn't been that many sessions since you guys got like this whole mission. We just haven't been playing a whole lot.
It's been 8.
Yeah, like we're only on episode number 10, believe it or not, of this season of the show. So yeah.
I have some from like last.
Yeah, from before the
Yeah,
iteration of
yeah.
of this season. Yes, indeed. So why don't we? I think everybody has at least one here. So why don't we start with Devin? Did Fortune achieve any of his goals?
I'm gonna argue yes and no.
Okay.
Because my goal says retrieve and deliver all VIPs from Tan Homeworld back to Westwind.
Yeah, I mean, you did the ones that are alive.
That's what I'm going to argue. All the VIPs that could be were.
Yeah, absolutely. That is definitely a goal that you've accomplished, for sure.
And
Does
I've
that
had it
mean
for
that you would
8.
have still completed it if everyone had died?
Yes.
So I think you can receive 700 experience for that.
What?
700 experience for that. Good amount. Anything else from you, Fortune?
Hopefully by the end of the episode I'll have another one.
Yes, indeed. I think that by the end of the episode you will have another. Dr. Fisher.
I didn't die.
Okay.
I mean,
Were you really in control
Really?
of that? Like, should
I mean,
we
we
get the
didn't let
experience
you
for that?
die. Yeah. Hold on.
Sure.
I am still alive.
You can have
and
125
after the
experience for that. Congratulations.
Oh, come on.
It was a single session goal of be available. So yeah. I was gonna give you 75 just to rub it in, but I'll give you 125.
Fine.
And your other two appear to be longer term.
Which I've still had.
Uh-oh. Internet? Hello?
I hear you just fine.
I think
Oh.
it will.
Okay, good. So well. Go. Go with any goals?
I think two pretty big ones. I mean, the first one's kind of still ongoing, but
Yeah, no, I think you at this point you've done all that you can, right? Like
right. It's just kind of putting him in the hands
Yeah.
of others.
yeah,
right?
it would be appropriate to complete that goal and start a new one if
Yeah,
you
okay,
wanted
that's
to
right.
if you wanted to continue that. Awesome. So you can have 700 for the second goal. Successfully complete the evac mission. And for the first one, you haven't had it very long, but it was intense. I
kind of required a lot from me too.
I on purpose beat the shit out of you guys to let you know that you're still mortal. So I think that a fair 500 is good.
Okey-dokey.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, Oscar.
Okay. 1, saved Gogo's dad.
Yeah, 500 for that as well.
Score. 2, advance the war effort, which is the recurring
Sure.
take missions, and
Yep.
that include, that was the Amelia one.
Yeah, that was the Amelia one for sure. Yeah, I think that you can have 700 just like everybody else has had for that one.
Okay. Third, 12 sessions.
Yeah,
Convince Oha to start new ruling house.
and she has indeed acquiesced to your request.
She's on board.
She is on board. The issue now is getting her to where she needs to be to
Yeah.
start that officially. But you have convinced her, and that was the premise of the goal.
Yeah.
And you've had that
will
one
be
for a
updated.
while.
But-
So I think that I think 800 for that one is appropriate.
Cool.
Cool. Awesome. So, take a moment to reflect on your open slots now. Remember, you can have maximum of 3. So yeah, take a moment to reflect on that and assign new goals as you see fit. You can leave them blank and assign them at some other point. That's totally fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna need probably the first half hour of this episode to figure that out.
Yeah. Well, you might have some immediate ideas, Fortune.
Exactly.
Based on your.
That's what I'm gonna need just a little bit of time.
Yeah, based on your current position. So last time on Olympus.
Ba, 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 ba.
The group of you have successfully evaded destruction and traveled all the way back to Westwind space, which you were briefly ambushed by a couple of fighters, in which you fought off and evaded expertly, thanks to the help of, in fact, I would say thanks mostly to the help of Dr. Fisher, in fact, running silent in that one moment, allowing you to break through. Obviously, Gogo's a pilot and she does amazing stuff all the time, but that was kind of the tactic that you used. So, congratulations, Dr. Fisher, and the rest of you for not dying. So, upon returning to the station, you all set about to completing what you had gone to do, making contact with Amelia's representatives, or the mission representatives, to come take Amelia. There was going back and checking on the contract that you were issued, or that you were trying to get issued, Fortune. There was doing some research into how best to treat Felix, the half-dead, face-melted away Gogo's father on the ship. And then there was mysterious contact from Dr. Fisher's little scene contacts that he has. That we only know as players and viewers, but it appears they're going to perhaps make a bid to be more in the open now to the rest of the crew. Which obviously should be interesting, to say the least. And in addition to some of the other problems that are going on, your ship is fucked. You're going to need some money and some time to get that fixed, because you've basically been, putting it together with duct tape at this point. Chan's been doing the best he can, but hasn't really been succeeding all that much. And speaking of Chan, there were some scary moments that he had when you were getting beat to death by bats, where he seemed to briefly perhaps go feral. Unfortunately, Dr. Fisher was unconscious at the time, as he usually is. But
jeez,
Gogo was able to get through to him before he went completely off the rails, which was important, because he definitely would have in that moment, and that would have been bad. So, it has accelerated, I think, Dr. Fisher's timetable into figuring things out, because Chan is, if not already, very close to the point of no return, which, obviously causes emotional trauma to multiple members of the party, not least of all including Gogo, which we all know how Gogo deals with emotional trauma.
She's totally fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
How many times did you buy that one copy of that same poster?
Maybe I should have Gogo take that personality test. I wonder what she would.
What
rate.
poster?
I don't know. She's always saying how she's tearing up posters in her room.
And then they're always
True.
fine, the next episode.
Yeah.
Because Chan painstakingly tapes them back together.
Yeah, exactly. He probably
yeah,
exactly. He probably has some machine that presses them together and melts the fibers back together so they look brand new.
He's just got the digital copy that he reprints every time.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it is. He just has a stack of poster paper in his engineering bay. So, with that being said, there is one perhaps bigger issue that I want to deal with right away, and that's Fortune. You were offered to go into a meeting with an individual by the name of General.
I have it. I have the notes.
What is his name?
With General
General,
Miskovich.
yeah, Miskovich.
Miskatonic.
Yeah. So General Miskovich, you met him briefly, but you met him in the accompaniment of another individual.
Lloyd.
Yeah, exactly. What was his last name? Did I give him a last name?
I don't have it written down. If you did, I didn't write it.
I think Lloyd was his last name, actually. Yeah.
I think I think it was Mr. Lloyd
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, exactly. So you met it's Counselor, actually.
Counselor.
So you met Counselor Lloyd, who introduced himself as like the proprietor of Westwind Corporation. And so when we see that scene again, we see that Mr. Lloyd in his traditional, I like to imagine him kind of in like Warhammer 40k commissar outfit, right? Where he's got like the big shoulder pads for no reason, and they kind of drape over his arms. He's got like the button up, and he's got the medals and the decorations about him, and he's got the hat as well. And he asks you to have a seat in this office, and you're also in a portion of the Westwind Research and Development Laboratories, which is not open to the public. It's one of the few places here at Westwind headquarters that's not open to the public. And as you were coming through here, you discovered a couple of other interesting notes. There appear to be TON training camps. There appear to be like prototype weapons that are being utilized. A lot of interesting and dangerous things going on. Which, as we know with some of the other revelations that the party has had, kind of falls in line with what's been going on. Because the TON, being such a pacifistic, kind of secluded race of aliens, don't share a whole lot. But now it seems in light of Annihilation, they are turning to their only allies in this war to assist them, help them. That makes sense. So, as you sit down with Counselor Lloyd, he greets you again, and he gives you a big smile, and I think he offers you a drink. He says, "Tell me, Fortune, what is your drink of choice? I myself am a single malt man."
I'd like a bourbon.
Well, and he kind of looks at General Miskovich, who is standing in the room. He kind of nods at him, and the general leaves, supposedly to go get your bourbon. And leaving you there in silence for a little bit as he's got his single malt, and he's just kind of swirling it around the glass, kind of gazing lazily into like the viewport window that looks out onto some of the training grounds and some of the research stuff, like deeper into the facility. And he says to you, "I'm sorry that we had to meet under such clandestine meetings, but it was the only way to ensure that you wouldn't be associated with me, at least to an outsider."
So, do you want to see my?
No.
So perfect.
That was perfect.
Thank you, Patches. I appreciate that.
So, do you want to see my rifles now?
Yes. The contracts are being written up for that. They're a very good make. I think that we can move it even further with the TON technology we've been bringing in and being let on to. But no, that's not why I've asked you here.
Well, this went better than I expected.
I suppose it did. Now, if we are to talk real business, we must wait for your drink. And as seemingly if on cue, General Miskovich comes in, and he's got a glass, and he's got a top shelf bourbon. He asks you, he said, "Would you like it straight or on the rocks?"
I have enough stuff in my life that's getting hot. I'd rather have it cool.
Yeah, he just nods, and he goes over to a small ice bucket and dumps a couple of ice cubes in there and pours you filled up a little more than halfway, a big tall drink for you in an 8-ball glass. And sets it in front of you and kind of resumes his position again. And Counselor Lloyd kind of smiles, and when he smiles, his face is very wide for unbeknownst reasons, just because he's a wide-faced individual. His smile spreads across his entire face, not un-Cheshire Cat-like, and he leans forward and puts his arms on the table, and you can see now that his arms, he's wearing essentially power armor. Because his arms are very thick, and you realize now that his whole figure is kind of hidden by the clothes, but you can see that he's clearly got some sort of power armor on underneath all of it. He's essentially a space marine, and as the wooden desk like creaks under the weight of the heavy armor, and he leans forward, and his face comes more to the light, and you can see that his face appears to be scarred in a few places, but his eyes are bright blue. And they shine with an intelligence that you can tell almost immediately. And he says to you, yes, very well. Now, I've brought you here because it is, well, you seem the most approachable member of your unit.
If I seem the most approachable out of my unit, you might want to take a second look at my unit.
Well, this Dr. Fisher has not been vetted properly. This Margot, she is unpredictable, rash, and, well, I think that if we come down to it, this Uskirnt, the Syriac you travel with, is, well, we have a difference of opinion on a lot of things. Normally, I would give this sort of information and have these sort of meetings with your previous handler, Giorgio. You remember him?
Yeah, Giorgio. How's he doing?
He is well. I heard he has returned home to, well, build a life, he says.
Yeah, we kind of wore him out.
There will be no peace for that one. Nor will there be for us. You and me, Fortune, we are very much alike from what I can tell. Men of action. Purpose.
Well, you seem to know a lot about me.
Yes, and unfortunately is one of those unfortunate tasks I must perform when ensuring that members can be brought in to higher levels of information. But I'll be straight with you.
That would be appreciated.
I do not believe we are going to win this war. The fleets of the Kuchera are evasive. They fight with tactics that would not be normalized in most military operations. And the Barba Society, well, they are very powerful enemies to have. Not necessarily for me, but they have, as you might be well aware, an unnatural dislike for the aliens that we coexist with in this little slice of space. But more importantly, when I say we cannot win, I mean we cannot win as we are now. I understand that you are or at least a former member of the Claris Mercenary Company. Oh, was I an affirmation? I'm sorry.
No, I'm rewording some stuff.
Okay.
I was gonna say one thing, but then I changed my mind.
Yeah, and so maybe that's appropriate, and he just nods, right?
It's like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, he probably just like holds up a hand. He's like, I understand. Secrecy and all that. Well, if we are to win this war, we need allies. We have a problem, however. As you are well aware, Claris will not act against their own. Unfortunately, the Syndicate has gotten to them first. I need this matter resolved so that I can recruit them to join the cause that will save a great many lives, and possibly the entire race of Tan. But I cannot do that myself.
Wait. You mean Kuchera is attacking Claris?
No, they are utilizing Claris mercenaries.
Ah, okay.
Which means that Claris will not assist us. I regretfully say that while I may have a lot of information, Claris is a group that is, well, they don't particularly give away a whole lot. And that's understandable, I can respect that. But I do know that they have no love for Barba. And I'm sure that whoever the agents are that are working for the Syndicate, they probably don't love their lives. We need a way to convince them that they're on the wrong side. Since they won't talk to me, I thought perhaps if I found a member, especially one of some rapport, such as yourself, you might be able to smooth things over. Get a meeting at least.
That's a large order.
Yes, well, I have very large aspirations.
Since you seem to be a man of information, would you have a list of some, if not all, of the Claris members who are working for the Syndicate?